That's your winning face. I'd hate to see you lose.
We underestimated the Constant.
Yeah, he's a glorified desk clerk.
He's not just after the money. He wants it all.
We caught him once, we can do it again. And, well, we're not the ones who let him escape.
You still don't trust her.
I don't like executive decision makers. Look, you don't have to follow her, you know? Soon, this will be over. Maybe it's time to think about the future. You have to face the possibility that there's no going back. If the ICA knows what you did...
She'll make it right. She always does.
We have a fix on Carlisle. Come on. We've got a plane to catch. I hope you like the rain, 47.
Miss Burnwood.
How did you...
I have everyone's number. You really ought to know by now.
You planned this? All of it?
Don't be silly. I just played the hand I was dealt.
We'll find you.
You had me. Where'd that get you?
We handed you an empire.
It's for the best. The partners were complacent, set in their ways. But power is more than just security. Providence can be an agent of change. Surely you understand. Or you will. Soon enough.
Thornbridge Manor. The Carlisle family's home for countless generations. The Revenant Alexa Carlisle and her 3 adult children, younger brother Zachary, grandson and daughter-in-law, are all gathered to conduct Carlisle's sham funeral. Curiously, Carlisle summoned a famous London PI soon after arriving this morning, but his purpose at Thornbridge is yet unclear. Now, the target knows that you're coming, and her guard detail is top-notch. So Mr. Gray will secure their nearby field HQ and intercept all calls going in and out of the estate. Any appeal for backup is going to fall on very deaf ears. Good luck, gentlemen.
Private area, sir. Phineas Whitman, private investigator. I have an appointment with Madame Carlisle. Please wait.
Mr. Whitmer is here to see Madame Carlisle.
You can go right in.
That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator hired by Madame Carlyle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself, 47.
Oh, by the way, I told Kate about those texts.
What did she say?
Well, I thought she'd be mad at me, but
here.
she just thanked me.
Can I take you to Madame Carlyle?
Please do.
I was
If
in,
you follow me.
we had a really good talk about it, actually.
Oh, what did I tell you? She's a sensible woman. And that stuff from your
I
ex
know
was like
I oughtn't to say
manipulation
anything, but
101.
I know.
so relieved you're
I know.
here. Everything's
I guess I
just
thought she was
strange.
gonna read into them
Preparing
and
for
freak
Madame's
out.
funeral, and then
Say I
she
must
turned
have
up
done something to
alive.
provoke her.
But then the awful
Shit, man.
business with her
Caroline
brother
really did a
Zachary.
number on you.
And all this security. I've never seen the place guarded like this, and I dare say I don't like it at all. You have to be pretty blind before you see Madame Carlyle. On top of everything, Rosie thinks she's in love with young Patrick. I mean, that's a breaking heart happening if I ever saw one.
Life can be tough sometimes.
And that detective asked to come here. Madame Carlyle must believe Zachary was murdered. Why else ask him to snoop around?
Everything will settle down soon.
HTC depot number 5085. No, I need it immediately. It doesn't exist. What do you mean it doesn't exist? I'll double check.
Victor Charlie on site. One civilian down. Over.
This all confirms that Arthur Edwards stole everything from Madame Carlyle. Perhaps you should let her know how bad it is, 47.
It will grow into telling action.
Did
you want to check on that undertaker in charge of the funeral? I got word he's upset with Madame Carlyle.
Everything's in order. Is that... Please do come and find me when you feel ready to inspect the crime scene. Just one question. Is that burnt leather I can smell on you? Unusual for a butler to burn leather.
I don't know what you...
Seeds, Mr. Fernsby. Seeds. Hidden desires, buried truths, conflict and intrigue. Oh, my favorites.
Listen, Gregory, something's off. Pruitt got word his motion was rejected. We all signed the bloody thing 4 days ago.
Oh, dear God, not this again.
So I got hold of the officer. He says it was finalized, but then how can it be withdrawn?
Just wait a few days. I'm sure it'll sort itself out.
That music makes my heart soar.
Quite the poet. But you're right. It's beautiful.
He plays the strings of my heart with that piano. I can feel the hair on my neck stand.
You and me both.
What a marriage. Splendid dynamics between the two. Loaded with conflict, unsaid fears and desires. I could just stare all day.
Bad news, I'm afraid. We don't have any extra fuses. Ethel looked everywhere.
You've got to be kidding. No power, no...
And right in front of me, a greenhouse.
So, Madame Carlyle wants a picture taken. If you were to assist with the missing...
She expects the family photos to be
Indeed.
done any moment now.
I need this shoot to happen, okay? And I need it to be perfect. Can't we just take a fuse from another food box?
I guess we could do that.
You strike me as independent and self-sufficient.
And then we'll grab the...
Taking a break where the family might see you.
Good.
Perhaps you're also perceptive. Tell me the first odd thing that comes to mind when you think of the last 24 hours.
Let me think.
First thing, don't think.
Okay. Well, I'm sure I left 20 quid in my locker, but when I came in this morning, it was only a $5.
Nope, not perceptive at all. Muddy prints from high heels. Expensive. Size 6.
If you're dressed like a Detective 47, you might as well act the detective. I suggest you go talk to the butler.
Huh? Excuse me, sir.
Mr. Whitmer,
Looking good today,
are you
sir.
ready to inspect the crime scene now?
I am.
Very well. If you'll follow me, sir. I feel obliged to point out that current affairs surrounding Madame Carlyle are of a delicate nature. You may be familiar with the recent announcement of her death. You will probably learn that a staged funeral is scheduled to take place tomorrow. Madame's children were not informed until this morning that their mother was in fact not dead at all. So please
How
bear
are you,
with
sir?
me if they seem affected by the rather unusual situation. I trust I do not need to remind you that there will be consequences if word gets out that Madame Carlyle is still alive.
I'll consider her dead when I leave.
Before you inspect the crime scene, I will tell you this. The case concerns the death of Mr. Zachary, Madame Carlyle's younger brother. He was found dead in his bed this morning. The door was locked from the inside, and a suicide letter was found in his room. However, Madame Carlyle suspects foul play and will not accept that he took his own life. I've prepared some information for you, so please do come and see me when you've finished your investigation of the crime scene. This is Mr. Zachary's room, to my right.
A locked room murder mystery, 47. I trust you'll get to the bottom of this. Why don't you use your camera to scan the dead body, 47?
Throat markings indicate a rare, short-lived plant poison killed him. Spread shows time of death at around 10 o'clock last night.
You do know your poisons, 47. Zachary was shopping for New Wellingtons last night. Not exactly what you would expect from someone suicidal. Zachary's suicide note. Also, a sample of handwriting. It could be relevant to compare to other samples to establish its authenticity.
A hidden door.
It's a secret passage. This could explain how the door was locked from the inside. A photocopy of the floor plans. Somebody's been researching the secret ins and outs of Thornbridge Manor. I believe you've done a thorough search of the crime scene, 47. Maybe it's time to see the butler. I'm curious about the information he's prepared for you.
Just remembered I went for a stroll behind the green. Now? A good idea. Yes.
Mr. Fernsby, I'm done with the crime scene.
Did you establish a time of death?
Zachary died around 10 o'clock last night.
Well, that means the staff were off duty. And Madame Carlyle and her security didn't arrive until this morning. That leaves Madame's family and myself as the only persons here when he died. And before you ask, no, I do not have an alibi. I was alone in my office at the time of death. Here's the material that I prepared for you. It's a list of the possible suspects and their quarters. Hopefully that will help you keep track of your findings. Please come and see me when you've solved the case, and I will take you to Madame Carlyle.
This is very useful information, 47.
Everything coming along, Elaine?
So how does one solve a murder mystery, 47? Motive, means, and opportunity, I believe.
Patrick Carl.
May I suggest you ask the
Can you tell
suspects
me
for
where you
alibis?
were yesterday
Or perhaps
evening?
you prefer searching the manor for clues first?
Sneaky butler, isn't it? He ratted me out. Elaine, give us some privacy, would you? Don't tell Mother, okay? She's really tense these days, and the last thing I need is more hassle. I took that pretty blonde, Rosie, for an evening stroll. I mean, how the fuck am I expected to cope for an entire weekend in this shithole? I'm bored out of my mind. So, is that it?
What did you think of Zachary?
Creepy as hell. No ambition. Imagine deciding to live in a museum. You know, Father says Zachary and Alexei used to be two of a kind. He had a great future ahead of him, then suddenly, he just gave up everything. What an idiot. Thank God Daddy chose looks and brains over pedigree when he married Mummy. I don't have to worry about the inbreeding so customary in these circles. If that's all, I think I'll get back to my slow death by...
Did you see anything suspicious last night?
No. I reckon Zachary topped himself. I know I would have. Or perhaps Mr. Fernsby. I don't like him. He could have done it.
Hello, sir.
That is the door to Mr. Fernsby's office.
Painkillers. Lethal if you use enough of them.
But not the poison used to kill Zachary. Of course, Madame Carlyle doesn't know that. Are you considering to frame the butler, 47?
Rosie, you need to forget about Patrick. No good's gonna come of it. Stick to your own kind.
You mean like Chris? I think you are coming on a little too strong, mister.
How are things coming along inside? Is everything...
Rosie, tell me what you did last night.
I'm in trouble, aren't I? I spent the evening with Patrick. We met after dinner and I went home at 1 in the morning. He said he needed someone real to talk to. When he looks at you, it makes you feel like the center of the universe. Like a real princess.
But now he just ignores her.
Well, he's under a lot of pressure.
He's an idiot. That's what he is.
You mean like Chris? He treated me like shit. All he wanted to do was play his stupid video games, never any romance. I deserve romance.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary? Any strangers outside the house?
No, we saw no one outside. Except Patrick's mother, Emma. We were sitting on the bench behind the greenhouse talking when she came out and, we had to hide. You won't tell her about me and Patrick, will you? She'd insist Madame Carlyle fire me. I'm sure of it.
Too right she will. She's always going on about how things will change once she's in charge of Thornbridge Manor.
So 41 guests will attend the funeral tomorrow. There's still a lot to see to, but we're in good time, I think.
I can't deal with all this pretend funeral stuff just now. I know I have to, but Amy thinks she might be pregnant. I'm gonna be a dad.
Amy is a great lad. You love her.
Mary is so upset. Has she never seen a dead body before?
Poor thing.
Alexa, back from the dead. A make-believe funeral, a
so many on call for a pretend funeral. These are extraordinary times at Thornbridge Manor.
I don't believe for a second that Zachary committed suicide. We'd only just run through his plan for the spring seedlings yesterday.
Yes, sure. But he was upset believing his sister was dead.
I'd say worried about how things would be handled with Gregory and Emma taking over. I said they let him stay here, but Ethel was sure Emma would throw him out first chance she got. And now we'll never know.
Oh, my. You're taking this hard, aren't you?
Broken lab equipment. It looks like it was recently used, though.
I doubt that's true, though. No, he was here when the safe in Madame Carlyle's office was repaired last week. He had to carry some heavy bolt to the top floor. He complained about back pain for the entire weekend.
A safe in Madame Carlyle's office. I bet that's where she keeps the file on Arthur Edwards.
Seriously, Denton?
Hi there.
Madame Carlyle wants to inspect the arrangements for the staged funeral tomorrow. What's the delay?
It's the birds. They're making a racket, droppings everywhere. The Undertaker wants them gone before he'll see Madame Carlyle. He's in a right state. So, unless you want to take on the birds, I suggest you stay clear of him.
Oh, no, my aim's horrible.
Madame Carlyle is still going ahead with her staged funeral tomorrow. And she wants...
Safer for everyone if I just wait here till he says he's ready for Madam.
Damn birds. Why could there be a clear hit on those nests?
Sir. Did you give the Fitzpatrick token to Madame Carlisle's daughter?
Rebecca? Yes. She's insistent, that one. She kept asking all kinds of questions. Who had the other one? Why I gave it to her, that sort of thing. You did make sure she didn't see you give the other one to the butler?
Oh, of course.
Emma Carlisle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Surely I'm not a suspect.
I need to account for everyone.
Well, I spent the evening with my family, but I got an awful migraine and had to take to bed. Everyone can attest to that. I believe I went up when the boys sat down for a drink around 8 o'clock. Anything else you want to know?
How did you feel about Zachary?
I might as well be honest. His presence was always awkward. But how do you have a meaningful conversation with a man who only cares about plants? In my opinion, Alexa bears some responsibility for how this ended. She supported his self-limiting behavior by letting him live here. Is that all?
Have you noticed anything else out of the ordinary?
Nothing special comes to mind. Except, perhaps, I did get a feeling that Zachary was depressed, not just sad. I suppose he realized that he had no one with Alexa gone. Even Alexa must feel the pangs of guilt over that one, letting him believe she was dead. Then again, guilt isn't her strong suit.
Rebecca Carlisle, can you tell me about yesterday evening?
We don't really see much of each other, my brothers and I. I suppose it takes our mother's funeral to bring us together, and even then, it's not like we sit on each other's laps. Now, let's see. Patrick, Gregory's son, disappeared straight after dinner. You know, I think he might be in some sort of trouble. Edward wanted to go as well, but Gregory convinced him to stay for a few drinks before they went off for a pint at the local at 9:15. I swear Gregory enjoys Edward's discomfort over staying here. I had a conference call with my New York office at 9, so I spent 3 hours on my laptop in my room and went straight to bed afterwards. I don't know about Emma. She did act a bit strange. You know, I bet she was making lists for changes needing to be done once she gets her hands on Thornbridge Manor. Quite the shock she had when Mother arrived during breakfast. Is there anything else you want to ask me?
Tell me about Zachary. Did he act strange last night?
You know, now you mention it, he was a lot more chatty than usual. He wanted to know about my connections in the publishing business. Apparently, a friend of his is writing a book, which strikes me as very peculiar. I didn't think he had any friends. Is that everything, Mr. Whitmer?
Anything else you feel like mentioning?
I may be wrong, but I saw Mr. Fernsby, the butler, leave Zachary's room early this afternoon. And he seemed a bit startled when he saw me in the hallway. It's probably nothing. Oh, and one more thing. Please be kind to Edward. He can only take so much. Is there anything else you want?
Gregory Carlisle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Oh, you're wondering about my... alibi, Mr. Detective. Well, I left Thornbridge around 8:30 for a pint with Edward. I wish I hadn't. Quiz night at the inn. On the other hand, staying here with Zachary, my obnoxious sister, and the wife sporting another one of her headaches would have been a fate worse than death. The short of it, Zachary was very much alive when we left. I stayed for the last shout, and I was back here just before midnight. Is that all?
Tell me about Zachary.
Zack? Huh. Such a sad old sod. A bit heavy on the bottle. But who could blame him? Only company he had was his rare plants and mother, who travels more than she stays here. Honestly, I can't say which is the bigger bore. He's better off dead. Anything else you want?
Anything else you'd like to tell me?
Nothing really. I'm just enjoying the show. Our perfect mother obviously fucked up, didn't she? Faking her own death. You know, she's explained nothing to us. I think she's scared to own up to her own mistake.
Did all the groceries arrive? I heard some of the delivery people were unhappy with the security at the gate. But all that is safe with Ethel. She never misses a step. Gossiping and work both.
I'm getting a headache from all the decisions. I mean, pram or stroller, comforter or not. Should I ask her to marry me? What if she says no? And then this big funeral thing tomorrow? It's the last thing I need.
That's a little too close.
Professor Edward Carlyle, can you tell me your whereabouts for last night?
Oh, yes, this dreadful business with Zachary. I stay at the local inn. You see, I prefer not to spend the night here at Thornbridge Manor. My brother Gregory came along for a nightcap. He'll never admit it, but I think he understands that I find this whole thing upsetting and wanted to provide some comfort. I believe we went to the Stag's Head around 8:30. Anything else I can...
Can you tell me about Zachary's behavior last night?
I certainly didn't expect him to commit suicide. Sure, he was upset by Mother's supposed death. We were. But he seemed more engaged than usual. You should ask Rebecca. They had a long talk. Did you know that he hadn't left Thornbridge Manor in nearly 50 years? His plants, Mother, and the staff were all the company he had. If that's all,
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary?
You mean apart from the fact that we came here to bury our mother and she shows up alive and kicking? Zachary found dead in his bed this morning? Or perhaps that the planned funeral is still taking place and I have to do the eulogy? And Mother will surely have a strong opinion on it afterwards. I can't breathe. Excuse me.
Mr. Fernsby?
Mr. Whitmire, you have enough evidence to present your case for Madame Carlyle?
No, not yet.
Come and see me when you do.
Mr. Fernsby?
Mr. Whitmire, you have enough evidence to present your case for Madame Carlyle?
No, not yet.
Come and see me when you do.
Down, Aunt. You know I'm good for it. I'm a Carlyle. I'm made of money. Just lean back and enjoy the interest. Meanwhile, go and have some drinks on me. No, Christ, I'm gonna hang up. Let's talk when you calm the fuck down.
Well, I'm just saying.
So maybe we should get back to...
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Mr. Fernsby?
Mr. Whitmire, You have enough evidence to present your case for Madame Carlyle?
No, not yet.
Come and see me when you do. May I have a word, Madame Carlyle?
What is it, Fernsby?
It's Miss Rebecca. She's insisting she needs to see you. She seems to be under the impression that something is afoot with the Carlyle mandates in the media branch. Something not explicable by your death.
Clever girl, Rebecca. Such a shame with all the eye. She could have gone far.
Do I tell her?
That is Alexa Carlyle, unofficial leader of the Provenance Partners, and last one to be alive. That is the door to Rebecca's room.
Hello there, sir. I know you have a lot of questions. Some I will answer now. The rest will have to wait. First, Zachary's sudden death is a great
Mr.
tragedy,
Whitman?
but also
I do have a
a
lot to see
great
to.
inconvenience, as it happened just now. I'm dealing with the situation in a discreet and efficient way, and I expect your cooperation in all related matters. Secondly, the arranged funeral event tomorrow will take place as planned. No one can know that I am still alive. I expect you all to act your part. Last, as you all know, I have a lot on my plate and need to focus on sorting everything out, so please do not disturb me with your petty concerns. You are all adults, and as part of the elite, you will eventually have to deal with difficult situations like this. It comes late for most of you, but this is a chance for you to show what you are made of. That will be all.
What an exit. Old bag's got style. Show what you're made of. Edward, this is your chance.
Oh, God. I have to finish that eulogy.
my perfect mother. Ha! Who would have thought? You fucked up, didn't you? Staging your own death? A major, grandiose cock-up, I'd say.
Be quiet, Gregory.
It shows you're only human, after all. I never would have guessed.
Mr. Fernsby?
Mr. Whitmer, you have enough evidence to present your case for Madame Carlyle?
No, not yet.
Come and see me when you do.
Damn.
Okay, I'll let that pass.
With a handsome face like that, I bet you'd work with a lot of high-profile celebrities.
I should get back to
That door leads to Emma and Gregory's room. A keychain pendant for the greenhouse. What's that doing in Emma and Gregory's room, I wonder? And why is the key missing? Now this is interesting, 47. A letter from Emma's mother stating that Emma is the illegitimate child of Alexa's late older brother, Montgomery. And listen to this. She claims to have witnessed Alexa and Zachary murder him. The plot thickens.
Or do I like the fact he's not another knuckle-dragging rugby washout?
How are you?
I suppose.
That's Madame Carlyle taken care of. Time to get the file on Arthur Edwards.
Who's dead person is? Please, can anyone tell me?
Hey, how you doing?
Body bags anytime soon.
Mr. Fernsby?
Mr. Whitmer, you have enough evidence to present your case for Madame Carlyle?
No, not yet.
Come and see me when you do.
Excuse me, sir. You're trespassing. Please turn around. That's just how we like it, sir. What? No one ever taught you any manners? Excuse me, sir. Seems like you're not cleared to come through here. Sorry. Sir! You didn't hear me! You are trespassing! Where do you think you're going, sir? You need to stay with me. That was it, sir. You're free to go.
Who do you think?
Hello, this is Cassandra Cox, Edward's ex-wife. I don't know what's going on at your house, but Edward is losing it again. He seems to believe that Alexa has come back from the dead, and that he has to write the eulogy for some make-believe funeral event. I still have the...
How are you?
Peculiar icons above the safe. I wonder if they might be some sort of a code. Maybe have a look around the office, 47. Mission complete. Well done, 47.
What?